right. What are you guys? You guys have any big plans for this huge Sunday of football?
Just gonna watch my Eagles win, Melissa. I'm thinking about going down, but I don't know. I don't want people around me if they lose. You know what I mean? Like I'll be extremely, extremely, extremely depressed. So
That's why I didn't go to Philly last week.
that was smart. See, I know a couple people that did that were Giants fans, and I would have to imagine that's pretty depressing to lose. It's cold. You got to drive.
You're in
home.
Philly.
You're in Philly to begin with. Well, that's I guess.
I think we should give a shout out to Melissa on this show
Don't do this to me.
on the show
Nice.
because a lot of people wouldn't even have shown up after getting a beating like they got last weekend. But here she is again. She's smiling. She's very happy. I mean, that was a tremendous beating. Like that was bad.
Yeah.
And she has been totally professional the whole time, laughing, smiling, happy.
She didn't get rid of Eli. Little Eli's still here. That's actually.
He's right there.
Yeah, you do deserve some credit for that, Melissa. You did better than me.
Being that wrong about a team.
Yes.
Like a lot of people go hide, but not Melissa. Not
If my
Melissa.
team was that bad.
I got a new book this weekend, a giant win, so it's put me in really good spirits.
I know. I like history books
The
too.
forward is by Eli Manning.
Wait, I thought they lost. Oh, it's an old book. Okay.
It's a brand new book about an old win.
I thought you meant it was about this weekend.
I'm
No,
super
no.
into history
That would have
too.
been amazing,
I
though,
love history.
Tom.
Yeah.
I'll let you guys know if it's worth the read.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Fictional history is a very, very new genre that I like too.
Oh, okay.
That's
Anyways,
awesome.
moving on. Guys, let's start with you, John. How did you do yesterday, last night on your picks?
I did great. I bowled a 240. Oh, we're not talking about bowling. I threw a 243 though. Yeah, I threw a 243, and it was in that game when I realized that Mikal Bridges had no shot of getting over 17.5 points because the 10th frame started. I throw an 8, which was not great, but I was like, I can get that. Well, guess what? The thing comes down and knocks the pins down. So you got to call the kid, wait for them to set it back up. And it just like ruined the vibe. And right then I knew I was looking up as Bridges like bricked a 3 at like the same time. And it was like the universe saying, John, not tonight, buddy. And of course I missed the spare and had to end the game. And then that's what happened. So that's what happened, Melissa.
Tragic. Yeah, that's not fun.
No, it is what it is. So I went back and I continued drinking my beer and went on with my night.
That's good. Now, John, I do want to point out that Bridges did have like a really good chance to win this. This wasn't your fault. He missed a 3 with like a minute and a half left, and he couldn't have been more open. So
that would have too.
And it would have. I was thinking of you because I live bet the Suns, which wasn't. So I lost too. But I was thinking of you because I was like, this is a perfect John win. It's the end of the
exactly.
Like he would love
this. Had no chance, and then all of a sudden, boom, it wins. You're like, oh wow, like because that's just a roller coaster of emotions right there. Like you can't pay for that.
Yeah. I mean, a last second win after how many points did he have?
Having no chance.
How many points did he have at halftime? Like 2?
He had 2 points.
Yeah, see? So that would have been a great win. Shout out to you for making it entertaining. I do want to point that out.
Thank you. Thank you, Matt. It's like Melissa, who just wants to talk about the bad parts of the bet.
Oh, yeah. We jumped on.
Anything on the show, John?
Well, not on the show, but off the show, we got on. And Melissa's like,
I was really being nice.
How's that ladder going? And she
about your ladder, John.
Yeah.
I didn't laugh.
Yeah, but you were doing it on the inside.
On the inside. You were laughing on the inside. We know that.
Matt, how did your ladder pick out? You're on day 3 now.
Yeah, I'm climbing. So I'll be going for my 4th step today. USC got it done. +4, +100.
They stomped them. Just called that, Matt.
Yep. Yeah. So, and the thing was, all right, so they were losing by 12 at half, right? Mm-hmm. And I look at the score at the gym. I'm not even flexing that I was at the gym, but I was just there.
Working out, no big deal.
Working out, no big deal, whatever. And I'm like, all right, this is dead. But they quickly came back. They stormed back. Second half team, just like I tweeted. Someone was chirping. They were chirping me at half, which really wasn't cool. Because, I mean, again, I wasn't out there playing. Like, even if it lost, I don't know why they would have yelled at me. But anyway, they came back second half, big second half. So we keep moving, guys. This is fun. I'm starting to think it's a little bit easier than a lot of people out there said because I am on day 4. John, I know you're using a little bit of a different strategy. You're kind of like you said, unless you're going to go 10 in a row, you don't want to even build any momentum. So
100%.
It's smart. Everyone has their own strategy, but yeah, we're going to try to keep it going today or tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow because okay. So here's my announcement.
Are we doing that today, Matt?
Yeah.
Like, are we here day 4 today?
Okay, yeah. So emergency announcement. So my day 4 pick is not coming on day 4 because this slate sucks. So listen, if we're gonna beat this thing, we have to do it unique. We can't be basic. Yeah. So why don't we take a day off? It's Friday.
Here I got a plan. Why not take 4 or 5 different like minus 700 player props and just throw those together and see what happens?
I could do that. That sounds interesting. Yeah, I mean, but what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna skip the day. I don't care what you guys say. Not you two. Anyone.
Yeah. No, I know what you're saying.
I care what you guys say.
For their own good. I do that to my kids all the time. I'm like, guys, you're mad at me now, but
yes,
for your own good. You'll be happy later.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. It's called delayed gratification. I think they call that on the streets, like on the parenting street, like in the books.
I think that's how you like train like children and young and animals and stuff like that.
Yeah, well, we're trying to train for this challenge, Melissa. We're trying to switch it up. So I think that's the best strategy. Yeah, so this is what we're doing. We take today off. All right. We won 3 in a row. We take a day. Tomorrow there's like 600 college basketball games. We'll win one of those.
You got it.
Yeah, you know what we're doing on Sunday. We're going Eagles alt spread. We're hitting that. And then it's Monday and we're on day 6. I think this is smart. I mean, if you look at this slate tonight and you tell me like you feel confident, I think you're lying. So I don't.
Are we just doing strictly basketball for this ladder? Is it like a basketball ladder?
That's the thing. Well, I'm happy you asked that. So again, a lot of these guys they're doing one sport. We're doing it. We're doing all the sports because I think there's a better chance that I would lose like 10. I'm not hitting 10 NBA in a row. You know what I mean? So I need to blend other sports. I might even go do some hockey with you, Melissa. I might.
That's the dream.
I'd say that's a hell of a segue, Matt.
Yeah, that is a segue into Melissa's pick. But what's the team she always fades on the puck line? It's the Ducks, right?
It's the Ducks. They haven't been playing while we have our show in a minute now. They'll come back to us. Don't worry about it.
When they play next, I think I'm going to do it.
We'll have a conversation.
We'll have a conversation. Yes, and you can help me. Greg said this is the greatest decision ever for the ladder. So Greg likes taking a day off. So thanks, Greg. Yeah, Greg
doesn't want to sweat any bets today. He wants to enjoy his drink, enjoy his Friday night out.
Right. I mean, I don't want to be stressed on a ladder on Friday night. It just doesn't seem fun. So we're gonna go get it tomorrow. So there's my announcement.
I will give you guys a bonus pick before we head over to the Thunderdome with Chris from College Gameday. The New York Islanders, I'm headed back there. They did so well for us on the under on Wednesday's show, so I am going back because we're actually getting plus money at Bet365. Under 5.5 goals, they are taking on the Red Wings. The Islanders have Ilya Sorokin in the net, and he is great. And as you guys know, the Islanders cannot score. And now that they have the goaltender in there, they can't get scored on. It's pretty simple. I feel like when I use a very simple analysis, they tend to do good. So see what happens. There have now been 6 or fewer total goals scored in 8 of Detroit's last 13 games. The Islanders also have 6 or fewer total scored in 12 of their last 16. So I say Friday, we have a magic day going on for us. We're not worried about the ladder, so and hopefully we don't have to worry about this either.
No, hopefully not.
Actually, technically, you always have to worry about an under, though. But I like this one. I'm just saying because shit could happen. Like it's not like an over
you're right.
where you're done. But
and it keeps going.
Yeah, but I fight on this.
We hit that under on Wednesday pretty easy. And the game ended like 2-1, and no one scored the third. It was the funniest game.
That's great. I mean, 2-1 for an under. I used to like doing hockey first period unders, like 1.5. They're fun. I don't know. I stress too much in hockey because sometimes they pull the goalie with like
the trick is to not watch.
Okay. I like that.
that feels like not fun though.
I never.
It feels like what am I doing?
There's one thing I've always said this. Any sport I bet, right? I do not watch the game if I bet an under. It doesn't watching an NBA under is brutal. Watching college basketball.
Baseball under.
Baseball. Okay, I can watch a baseball under because it's slow.
You got a couple runs in your pocket, and some reliever comes and loads the bases. You're just like, what? I just watched all this nonsense, and it's gonna lose right here because there's no stopping the runs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They just keep scoring until they get one out. So it's like, man, those are the worst. So I don't like watching those.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, unders are they're you got to be built different.
They're tough. You got to be built different to take an under.
I do like them, but I'm riding. I'll ride this one with you, Melissa.
Well, if it makes you guys feel any better, Sorokin is great against the Red Wings in his last 3 appearances against them. And just in general, he tends to dominate them, and the Red Wings are just not good. So I think we'll be fine today.
That's
think
fine.
it's going. We'll see what happens, though.
If they can't score, then the under is probably safe. I do want to add before we leave because we don't have a show this weekend. Eagles alt spread 13.5 one more time. I just want to reiterate that for everyone.
Plus 13.5.
Minus 13.5.
I was about to say.
Plus 13.5 is fine too, Melissa. You just might not make any money. But the minus
lose money when
you're going all in on. I'm reading the comments. Melissa,
I know me too. Is that why we had a brief pause?
You're getting a lot of thoughts on the under here.
You know what? Everyone was super excited about the under last week. I don't understand what's going on right now. It's fine. Different day, different
Friday, and you said the word under.
Kent State and Buffalo, I do not have any thoughts on that. These college basketball games today, guys, are brutal. So I was just reading the I do like
tonight, the Ivy League plays tonight.
It's like Ivy League.
You love betting the Ivy League, Matt.
I do, but tonight, I think the Ivy League might be off tonight, guys. I don't know. It's really bad games. Let me see. Now you made me curious. Hold on. Let me look. The Ivy League usually does play on Friday, though. That's because they're not going out. They're studying. Yeah, no Ivy League. These games are so bad. It's a rough night, but people are gonna bet them. I mean, it's gonna. We get the Metro Atlantic conference.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the other MAC. That's what
it's like the fake MAC. Yeah, that's okay. They play a lot of Friday nights too. St. Louis and Davidson will probably be fun.
Make the fake Twitter accounts and they have 2 letters, you know what I'm saying? 2 letters in, and you're like, oh, well, that's not him. That's what the MAC is.
That's the fake MAC. It makes me so mad because I'll look at scores if I bet a MAC, and I always hit that conference by accident. I'm like, what is this? This is not.
Right, MAC? Harris? What does that even mean?
Yeah, who are these teams? The only team I know is Quinnipiac because one of my friends went there, so that's the only.
Oh, well, that's New Jersey, right?
Connecticut.
Oh, shit.
St. Peter's.
It's close.
It's the tri-state area.
Yeah. It's kind of close, so that's not.
St. Peter's is in the MAC.
Who is?
St. Peter's, the blue team, the Peacocks.
The Peacocks. That's New Jersey.
They made that last year.
You're in the fake MAC. Wait, I didn't know St. Peter's was in New Jersey.
They
are. There you go.
What are you talking about? We had a whole segment with Eli Manning. He was supporting the Gamecocks. The Peacocks. Sorry,
wait, is Eli Manning? Is Eli Manning from Jersey, or is he just that?
No, he lives in New Jersey, though. I think he's from New Orleans.
Oh, okay. Does he? He probably has multiple houses. I would guess, right?
Yeah.
I've visited his house in New Orleans. Just did a little drive-by. I'm not weird. It's on the this. It's
no, that's not stalkerish or anything. Yeah, no, that's
a lot of people do it.
Yeah, all the stalkers do it. Someone asked about John Moran's under on rebounds. That I don't know. Do you guys know about that?
Rebounds, but you saw what happened. What they did to us with Patrick Williams the other night. We don't do rebounds.
Yeah, rebound unders are scary too. All
of a sudden the ball just
bounces to you.
Bro, and you're like, well, that's a rebound now.
Yeah, that counts.
Someone, Matt, also asked about how you feel about the Eagles team total this weekend.
Do you guys know what it is? I don't know off the top of my head. I'll say whatever it is. They're gonna go over it though. I'm telling you that.
Well, maybe they won't.
What are you doing? Yeah, I mean, in the middle of the show, she just didn't
they can go 30 plus.
If they go 30 plus, they're gonna cover.
Do the Thunderdome, guys.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we got some picks.
We do.
Watch.
Yeah. Well, then, with that being said, we'll just kick it off to the Thunderdome. What do you guys think?
Wait, do we all just freeze, or is this
frozen?
Is it? I feel like I've frozen a bit.
Oh,
No, we're
Okay,
good.
well, with that
We're
being
live.
said, guys, let's just kick it off to the Thunderdome.
we're
Have a
back.
great weekend from me. I'll see you guys on Wednesday. Chris, enter. 3 will enter, 1 will leave. Let's see what happens.
All right, guys, welcome back into the Thunderdome. Big time guest today. We are joined by Chris Bear Fallica, formerly of College Gameday. It's where I'm sure a lot of you guys know I'm doing some great work. So excited to have Chris on as well. You guys know how this works. 3 picks, 3 enter. Only, one's going to have to leave. So we'll figure it out as we go along. But Chris, first of all, thank you so much for joining us. As the guest, you get the first pick. So what are we looking at?
Yeah, I'm going to take the 49ers plus a 2.5. It seems like it's a contrarian side this week, and so much is being made of the Eagles and home field advantage and that crowd, and no one can go in there and win. Look, I know it's a different year. I know it's a different team. It's a different opponent, and everything's different. But the home field and the fans, the home field and the fans, and that's what people seem to be using a crutch on. Look, they lost an NFC Championship game in 2002, 2003 to a couple of similarly type built teams in Carolina and Tampa Bay. They got kind of like defensive method to kind of prolong and run-based teams, which minimize possessions for the Eagles. And I think you're going to see that with I know McCaffrey's banged up a little bit, but they're still deep at running back. They find different ways to get different players the ball. I think they can control the clock, minimize the number of possessions that Hurts and that Eagles offense takes. And I mentioned this a couple of weeks ago as well, that it seems like people are just like anticipating, I don't want to say rooting for Brock Purdy to fail, but it's almost like it's a different thing every week. First, it's his first start. Then it's his first road start. Then it's, the last couple games of the year really didn't mean anything. Well, now it's his first playoff game. Now it's his first real team and real defense in Dallas that he plays. Now it's his first road playoff game. So every week it's something else, and he's passed every test so far. He's got a great supporting cast. I'm going to take the Niners plus the 2.5.
All right, Chris, I am an Eagles fan, so that one hurts a little bit, but I wish you well on that one. All right, John, what are we looking at?
No, you don't. You can be honest. No, you don't. You don't wish me well.
I'm with Chris here. I think that the Eagles are definitely going to be in a game. It's not going to be like it was last week with the Giants. So I think they're going to need to throw the ball for game script reasons and for other reasons of the 49ers just have a really good run defense. So for that reason, let's go A.J. Brown. Let me get the exact number. It's 80 plus receiving yards, plus 116. Look, the 49ers, they've got a great defense. No one's saying they don't, but at the same time, I think only 5 teams gave up more receiving yards to wide receivers this season. So it's not like they're just, shutting everything down. I know Brown didn't do much last week, but that was the Giants, and they ran all over them. Like, why are you throwing the ball if you're up? What the Eagles were up. It felt like there was a blowout from like the first 5 minutes on. So there's that. But I mean, when you go through and look at what wide receiver ones have done to the 49ers recently, I mean, CeeDee Lamb, DK Metcalf, I'm trying to think, Adams from the Raiders. I mean, they've just gotten torched. 80 yards from A.J. Brown is just not a lot, and especially at plus 116. I'll take that all day.
I like it. I like that pick more. All right, I'm going to go to my pick. I'm going to go with the Chiefs money line. So we were talking about this just before we got on the air. This line has been flipping the entire week. I jumped on it. It got as high as 2.5, guys, which was kind of crazy that we could get Patrick Mahomes at home with 2.5 points in a playoff game. I still think it's crazy we can get him on this short of a line. I understand that there's an injury factor that a lot of people are worried about, but I mean, Mahomes at 80% is better than most guys at 100%. So I'm all in. I'm still taking Mahomes. I'm still going to trust him here. I think the whole Joe Burrow went in and won last year. I get it, but that's one game, right? That's a season ago. This is a whole different game to this weekend. I think Kansas City comes out fired up, focused for this game. I can't pass it up on this kind of line with Kansas City at home. So give me the Chiefs. It's minus 110 right now. This is probably the worst line that we could get all week, but it's the time of the show that we're recording it, so I got to go with it. It's better than where I think it should be. I think Kansas City should still be a 2.5 point favorite, to be honest, at home. So I'll jump on that. And then I'm going to take my Eagles on an alt line here. So I'm taking a minus 6.5. I'm going all in. So I think if they get it done, they're going to get it done. So kind of like Chris said, there is a lot of factors against Brock Purdy. I do think the one advantage in this game, though, is the quarterback position. when you compare everything else, I mean, you could argue everything, right? Number one, number two defense. They both have great offensive lines. I think the X factor is the quarterback play. So Jalen Hurts is going to have to step up, outdueled Purdy in this game. I think the value here is too good to not sneak at -6.5. I like it at +185. So give me the Eagles here. I think they get it done big at home. So I'm all in on my birds.
All right. Tough to follow. That's very tough to follow. I like
Yes,
that. I
it
don't
is.
really have a banger like that, which I feel like I need. And you almost made me actually up this pick, but I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna mistake serve. I'm going Devonta Smith, 70+ receiving yards, +106. Again, same reason. I think they're gonna trail. But here's the thing. I think both of these can come home simply because the target tree in Philadelphia is like a target branch. Like when it comes to receivers, there's two of them. You will see your Quez Watkins. You will. Don't get me wrong. They have other ones, but again, we're looking at like almost 60% of the target shares between two guys. And if one can't get going, maybe the other one does. I think both of these hit, but if just one hits, you're still in the profit. Moving on. So we'll see what happens.
I don't dislike the alt line play because I was talking to someone. Everyone I think is under the assumption that these are going to be two classic close games. It almost feels like one of these games is going to be a surprising blowout. So that's an interesting way to play it. You just play an alt line with one of these teams, and if you guess right, you're going to get back some good plus money. And I'm going to play the Chiefs as well with my second pick. Again, as you said, we're getting the worst of the line right now, but there was a reason that I know Superbook opened Kansas City at 3, even not being sure of the Mahomes status, and obviously the line has moved around, and now we're laying 1. But Kansas City, even if they're running shotgun the entire game and they're running out of shotgun formations, they have an excellent shotgun run game. I've talked to a couple coaches about that, and their run game out of the shotgun is great with Pacheco and the other guys that they have. So will it affect them? Maybe, but I still think they're going to be able to move the ball. Maybe Patrick Mahomes isn't able to create with his legs like he normally is. But I think it's what people are pointing to. Oh, the Bengals have beaten them 3 straight times, and now Mahomes isn't 100%. You go back over those 3 games, Kansas City had better than a 75% win probability in the fourth quarter in every single one of those games. We're talking about like one play here or there, and the game would have. That game last year in Kansas City in the AFC Championship game was over, and somehow Cincinnati found itself in the Super Bowl. So at some point in these matchups, I think the Chiefs are going to have get the benefit of the doubt. They're going to get a play go their way. And remember last week too, how we were talking about the Bengals offensive line is beat up. It could be a big issue. No one's talking about that this week. And this week was Chris Jones and that Chiefs defensive line and Karlaftis and the guys that they've got. I think it could be a bigger issue this week than it was last week. So no one's talking about it this week, or not very few people are talking about it. Don't forget about that this week. So I'm going to take Kansas City here as you did as well. So I like Kansas City and San Francisco in the NFL games. And then for my final pick, I'm going to make you stay up really late or get up really early on Friday night into Saturday morning. I'm going to go with Arena Sabalenka laying 130 against Elena Rybakina in the Australian Open women's final. Like I liked Sabalenka at the start of the tournament. I have an 11-1 future on her, so I mean I'm a little jaded and a little biased as well. But she hasn't dropped a set this tournament. She's won all 3 head-to-head matchups with Rybakina. Granted, all 3 have gone 3 sets. So again, it's not like they've been walkovers. But a year ago, Sabalenka had massive problems with her serve. I mean, she was averaging a ton. I think it was like 17 double faults. It was something ridiculous like that. She was having a ton of issues. But as the year went on, she got better. She nearly got to the semifinals and the final of the U.S. Open, and then she nearly beat Caroline Garcia in a really good WTA finals matchup at the end of the year. Her game improved dramatically, and that's carried over to the Australian Open in Melbourne here, where she was the second choice behind Iga Swiatek going into it. She's the favorite now. The lines come down. A lot of people are on Rybakina as the court's kind of playing very well and very favorable to her serve. But Sabalenka has been great since the calendar turned to 2023. Hasn't dropped a set. I think she's going to win tonight. I do also think it could be an over type of game. So I haven't looked at the over-under for the games, but you could probably get maybe like something like over 20.5 or somewhere around there at a decent price. But I do like Sabalenka to win the Australian Open tonight.
It's our first women's tennis pick.
Yeah.
So we love that.
Thank you.
That's our first tennis pick, period. That's
Yeah.
Perfect.
True.
Nice.
We got to expand the horizon. That's what the people about
Yep.
a lot of people on Daily Wager have commented about, or people on Twitter have commented about Daily Wager since I've been gone. Like we need our obscure soccer and tennis picks, but we don't get them anymore now that you're gone. So
Yeah,
I got
right?
to do a better job on Twitter of finding some tennis and soccer out there regularly. But yeah, I like Sabalenka tonight.
We need stuff to bet on, Chris. I mean, at the end of the day,
Exactly. Well, what else do you need to do at 3:30 in the morning Eastern
There's
time
nothing
tonight,
else
right?
to do.
but nothing's on. We got to gamble on something. So my last pick, I'm going to go again with more Eagles receiving. So here's the thing. This is either going to be really good or it's going to be really bad. Hopefully the 49ers can just stop the run totally, and I should be good. But if they don't, maybe the Eagles get behind and have to throw their way back into it. But how about Dallas Goedert? 50-plus receiving yards. That's plus 104 FanDuel. Same thing. It's alt line. Look, the Niners did do a good job against tight ends. Don't get me wrong. But at the same time, they played in the NFC West where there really wasn't, tight ends. Darren Waller got these guys for 72 yards himself. So Dallas Goedert, I would say, is in that class, where they do look for him down the field. It's not going to be like the short stuff like we saw last week with Schultz. I mean, he caught 5 passes, but he only gained 27 yards because, they're, again, the low ADOT and all that stuff. Goddard can get loose in the middle. Again, 50 yards, not a lot for him. His last 4 games, he's gone 40-plus in all 4 of them. So he's right there. It's not like, he's having days where he just falls off. I'm telling you, I think Philly's going to need their pass game. It reminds me of the Tennessee game with them where it seemed like they knew they weren't going to be able to run, and they just threw all day. I think Hurts went like 380. I don't know that type of day is going to happen. But again, if you do the math, we don't even need 200 to get home on this. I'm sorry, we need 200 to get home on this. So 50-plus, put me on the board for that, and let's just pray that the Eagles pass.
All right, I like all these Eagles bets. I'm going to close this out with a bet tonight. I'm going to give Memphis Grizzlies -3. I like them to bounce back here. Little 3-game losing streak. Think they take care of business in Minnesota. If this thing turns into a track meet, this pace kind of favors Memphis. It's how they like to play. Quick game, quick pace. So I like the Grizz. I think they bounce back, take care of business. They're coming off that hard-fought loss to the Warriors. They played good enough to win the game, just couldn't close it out at the end. I think they take care of business, though, on the road tonight. So I'm going to close it with the Memphis Grizzlies -3. All right, guys, so there's our picks. We got them all. We'll see who comes out of the Thunderdome. One more time, shout out to the Bear, Chris Fallica, for joining us. Thank you so much for your time. Picks were great. Hope you lose the 49ers one. That's the only thing. But other than that, I'm cheering on.
Well, I was going to say, could we get like an Eagles 2-point win? But that really wouldn't help you because you got the alt line. But at least the fan would be happy.
At least the fan, right? I think I could. Yeah, I think I could settle for that.
Perfect.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. Thanks again to Chris, and we will see you guys on Monday.